YouTube video lab report
by Shoaib, Hasan and Amandeep, Bedi.
Purpose and question. The purpose of our experiment is to prove that plants do indeed produce oxygen.
Background information. All plants go through the process of photosynthesis. This means that they intake carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight energy to make oxygen and glucose.
We also know that candles use water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen to fuse a flame. They break down hydrocarbon into molecules of hydrogen and carbon. These vaporized molecules are drawn up into the flame where they react with oxygen from the air to create heat, light, water vapor, and carbon dioxide.
We will conduct an experiment in which the first jar has a burning candle placed into it, and the second jar has a burning candle and a plant placed into it, and both of them will be sealed. Our hypothesis is that if plants produce oxygen, the second jar will use up all of the oxygen to fuse the flame as long as it can from the plant, while as the first jar will not have much to work with and its flame will go out faster.
Procedure. Step 1. Acquire the following materials: 2 glass jars, 2 candles, 1 healthy plant.
Step 2. Open the jar and insert the candle on the left side. Do this with the other jar and candle as well so they're properly aligned.
Step 3. Leave the first jar as it is, and with the second jar carefully place your plant.
Step 4. Using a match, carefully light up both candles in the jars at the same time. We strongly advise doing this with 2 or more people.
Step 5. Close the lid of both the jars at the same time. Again, we advise you to do this with 2 or more people. Congratulations, you've successfully completed the experiment.
We have conducted the experiment and recorded our observations, data, and results.
Qualitative observations. We have noticed that more wax was melted in the first jar than the second one. Also, the intensity of the flame was greater in the first jar. We also noticed that with the first jar, smoke was predominant when the flame went out, not the case with the second jar, which hardly had any smoke. There was a smell of burnt smoke around the jar as well. Also, the plant seemed a bit dry, and the second jar, the experiment was conducted.
Quantitative observations. The time it took for the flame to go out: first jar 42 seconds and the second jar 72 seconds. The type of candle used in the first jar was a brand new votive candle, and for the second one was an already burned once votive candle. The type of plant used in the first jar was none, and for the second jar was a special store-bought ivy plant.
Conclusion. The initial question was, how can we prove that plants produce oxygen using only 2 jars, 2 candles, and 1 plant? As you observed from this lab report, it can be done by showing that a candle uses oxygen to fuse its flame and that plants produce oxygen by photosynthesis. Put both together in a jar, seal it up so no other gases make contact, and observe. Because the plants produce the oxygen and candles use it to fuse the flame, you will see the candle burning for a lot longer than if you put just a candle in an empty jar and seal it up. This concept was made by Joseph Presley.
Joseph Priestley, an English scientist, placed a burning candle in a covered jar. The flame went, and then the flame went out. When he placed both a plant and a candle in a covered jar, the candle kept burning. Priestley concluded that the plant released something into the air that kept the candle burning. Today, we know that plants produce oxygen, a product of photosynthesis. We'd like to thank you for watching this video lab report.